Hi everybody, this is me, Tsidiwa Rapila, and I'm bringing you another conversation on the Imperative Mac podcast. As I say to you always, that this is a conversation where we stir your soul, we just go into your heart, because as spiritual beings having human experience is always, better or nicer to go back, reflect on your journey, reflect on this thing called life, however you want to understand it. And also, tap into it in a way that is more meaningful. And what we drive or what we seek to do here at the Imperative family is to bring people that we see as teachers who can teach us and give us tools that we can implement or apply in our lives as we journey along. And today we have a gentleman, and I'll tell you what I suspected of him. And I told him, so he knows I'm not skinnering. So his name is Percy Singo. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes, that's correct.
Percy, more than him being an engineer, is also into investment, property investment, and he'll tell us all about that. But just for my disclaimer, when I first, I think it was a very short video. I can't remember what you said. I was like, oh, I hope he's not those one who said, give me your 10 rent and then you're going to be 50,000 richer the next day, because we won't talk to him. And then we listened deeper in the story and I was like, okay, there's a teacher. Percy, welcome to the Imperative Mac podcast.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Do you get that where people think scamster, or do you not get that? Am I the first one?
No, you're the first
Am
one.
I the first one? Okay. Okay, but there the disclaimer is out. We know you're not.
Yes.
So, Percy, I want to go right into the conversation, right? And for me is the practicality of your life and how you've went into investment, and we can talk about that. But before, just take me through the journey of your day-to-day life when you were a young boy, primary school going. Take us through that, and maybe tell us in as well who Percy is.
Okay, my name is Percy Singo, originally from Venda, and then I grew up in a spiritual family. Like I grew up mostly at church because my mother was a cleaner in a church at Venda, so she was taking me with to most of the church conferences. So that's how I grew up. I grew up mainly in church, but I was just there at Venda, and then most of my life, the main thing in my life, I think, like, it was more of a church guy. I was a church.
So in class, were you that one where we were making noise? You'll tell the teacher who was making noise. Were you that guy?
No. But for some reason, in most classes, I was a class rep because
you were a telltale.
Yes, so I was a class rep in most of the classes, but
but it's because you were snitching on other kids?
No. I think it's because of the dedication that I used to put to my work. So they knew this one. So they always selected me to be a class rep.
To be a class rep. Okay. Yes. And what mischief did you get into in your school years? What were you disciplined for?
I don't nothing much that I can remember about.
No, Percy, you can't be that clean. No.
There's nothing that I can remember at the moment.
Yeah. Okay, so while you think about that, so you go into this life, you dedicated to your life at school, you are a class rep, and obviously then I'm assuming that you are in the top 10 students. And then when did you decide to go into engineering?
Okay. In fact, when I was still at school, engineering was not in my mind. I was thinking about another course which has to do with health.
Oh, okay,
but then I applied for that, and then I couldn't get the space. And then just because of that, that's when I decided to be a late application, to send my late application. And then for some reason, I changed my mind to say now I want to do engineering.
But did you know what engineering was at that point?
No, not at all, because
was it just a long name?
I even moved from one engineering to another engineering, because I started with chemical. Then when I was there, I was like metallurgy until I moved to civil engineering.
So were you changing courses?
Yes, I was changing courses. Yeah, but I feel like it was all worth it to change.
Does it mean you completed the first one and then the second one?
No, while I'm still in the process.
While you were in the process. And then what did you finalize as?
As a civil engineer.
Okay.
Yes, I studied civil engineering at Val University of Technology.
Okay, yeah.
But completed at VETS,
Oh, how did that career take you through?
No. The career has been good. Even to my side business, the career has been the main funding for my business. So it's a very good career, which I love, and that's why I'm still practicing as a civil engineer.
Okay, yes. And in one of the conversation, what I like, Pesi, is that you do emphasize on, firstly, I was drawn more to your story about the sustainability, right? That you as much as you preaching wealth, you also preaching sustainability, which is for me very important, because we live in the world where it's a pop-up society, right?
Yes.
Everyone is waiting to blow up. Oh my God, I want to blow up. But blow up from where, you know? So your life or your journey shows exactly that. And also in one of the conversation, you're saying that your salary it's almost like a seed that feeds into that, right? Yes. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, no, what I can say is that we must not just hate to have a 9-to-5 job, because if you just go to a company now and you say, I'm looking for funding, it's very difficult to find funding. Although when you hear on radios and other platforms, they are saying funding, it's very easy, you can just get it. But when you go to the practical side of it, it's very difficult to find funding. So I feel like your job, you should see it as a seed to say, this is what is going to be funding for my investment. It doesn't matter whether it's what I'm doing, which is property, or you want to just start a restaurant, for example. You can look at your job and say, I must not eat everything from the money that I receive from my work. I have to save something out of that so that I can invest.
But the reality or the practicality, Pacey, that you and I can ignore is that some people can't save genuinely, because what I earn and what my responsibilities are, not even about me living beyond or within my means. It's just practically what my responsibilities are. How do we then, is that even practical to then say you can save anything and everything within that pot?
Yeah, I feel like saving, it's misunderstood, especially because when you hear somebody saying, I'm saving 30,000 a month, you want to save the same amount as them. And then your responsibilities are not the same. And then even your expenses are not the same. So when you say saving, saving, it's mainly about lifestyle, because it's something that you're saying, I've been doing this thing for a very long time. I'm going to cut down on it so that I can put that money as savings. So I feel like for everyone, there is something that you are doing which you are not managing your lifestyle properly on that, which you can look at it. You might not be able to save 30,000, but 1,000 goes a long way. After a year,
or 10 rand.
Yes, it goes a long way. So after a long time, you will be having some savings. Yes.
And then while practicing as civil engineer, you went into the property market as a property investor. Why property?
I was never looking forward or planning to be into a property business, because I was just a person who says I want to pay off all my debts. So when I started, it was about paying off my house. It was about having few debts. But it reached a time where most of my debts or all of my debts were paid up. And then I was just saving money without having a plan. So that's when I decided to say, let me find an investment that I can use this money that I'm having into. So I choose property.
Were you not worried about the risks, like the risk of this, the risk of that? And I think some of us cowards who doesn't go into investment. And I know your views around saving money, like saving money in the bank, you're getting low interest on it and so forth. But I'm like, there's risks on that side as well, where I could take my savings and lose it. But I guess it's the business side. But then were you not worried about that part of it?
Not at all, because I see a lot of benefits on the property business, because the property itself, it's gaining value every month. And then besides the value that you are getting, you are also getting an income from the rentals. So I feel like there's a lot of benefits when I look at it. So it was a safe investment for me, because there's a lot of investments out there, but there's a very high risk in most of them. So this one, I feel like it's a very safe investment.
So when did you start with your property investment?
The first house that I bought was 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. Then
and so since 2015, like 5-6 years from now? Or is it
6 years?
6 years,
6 years from now.
And where are you in your portfolio right now at the moment?
At the moment, since then, I've bought 5 houses. Yes. But to me, I feel like just to buy a house, it's not enough, because if you buy a house, let's say for example for 700,000, and then the bank wants you to pay back 5,000. If you look for tenants in that house, the tenants will be paying roughly around the same 5,000, which means you won't be making any profit from that house. So what I focus on is what you do behind the house. So when I say house, for me, the first thing that I want to do is to develop it and extend it so that it can generate income for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So at the moment, I have I've bought 5 houses so far.
Okay. And where do you want to take this? Are you taking more into homeowners association type? Where's this vision or vehicle going towards?
I'm looking forward to buying more like hectares, where you buy hectares and you build a number of apartments. Yeah, because at the moment I'm mainly focusing on the township rental business. That's where my most focus is. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. So what is the sort of in you when you grow up, right? Because I believe that, you know, we pick up our vision and our determination from the circumstances that we come from. Where your journey as a young boy coming from Venda in Limpopo, what is it that when you looked at and you said, I don't want to be that, or I want to be that, and that's why I need to build my legacy?
Okay. We can say from my background, it was not really a great background, but I didn't feel the suffering. I cannot say I'm those people who suffered a lot, because I was in a church environment. So I feel like that protected me from feeling the suffering.
But protected you how? By you being nourished, or people helping you?
People helping as well, because when you need something, it was available. There was no those time where you say things are not available. Even though my mother was a cleaner, the church was assisting there and there to cover the basics.
So would you say, out of that, what conversation did you say to yourself at that stage?
I think from the early stages, I have already decided, or from what I was being taught in that atmosphere, I was already looking forward to invest in different things and to become something in life. And then, so when I came to Joburg, I think I was those people who were too focused, which you only find in the library or church. So most of the things, we started to do them very late. I was so focused into reaching goals and achieving.
But what did you want to transform? Were you wanting to be a better mentor, or to give mommy a better comfortable home, or to be seen in the society? What is it that you wanted
to be a mentor? It was more of that, to say the other people who are growing up in families like mine, they can be able to look at someone to say, if that person is able to do it, I can be able to do it as well. Yeah.
And are you having those conversations now with those people back home?
Yes, there's a lot of conversations that I'm having around with a lot of people.
What do you say to them?
Most of them, when they contact me, it's the issue of saying I'm inspired by your story, and then can you help me here and there, and then those are the I give advices on a daily basis to some of them. Yeah,
you know, Percy, your story is very important, right? And especially from some of us who come from backgrounds of the have-nots, right? The moment we feel or touch money, it really changes our lives, but not to the best. You know, there's people whom we've known who say, you know, or will say, oh no, that one, they got money and then they change, they think differently, they think too high of themselves, or you live in this extreme life. You have the money, you live in this extreme life, but you know, at the end of the day, you don't have that money because you are living to this expectation. What do you think helped you to not be that guy?
I think one of the qualities that I have is being humble. So I'm a humble person generally. So even the moment I started working, it remained like that. And besides that, I was able to overcome the pressures from the people outside.
But how? Because you are young and people are like, no, you've got money. So
I think it's about having goals. If you've got certain goals that you want to meet, even though there is a lot of challenges, I focused on the goal to say I want to meet that. So every time in my life, I've always had a goal that I want to reach, and then it keeps me focused in my journey.
Okay, so you have your goals and you have do they scare you?
Yes, they do.
You look at them
but for some reason, when you reach it, you realize that it was not really a big goal. So,
thinking back recently, thinking back recently, what's that goal that you look at when you started in like, this scared me? What is that goal?
One of them was just to pay off my house. Yeah, I had that goal when I started working.
And did that scare
when
you?
I bought the house, I felt like it was a big goal because you have this 25-year debt. Because mine was even 25 years to say they want to pay to pay off the house in 25 years. So when I said no, I want to pay off this house in 3 years, it was a big goal because it required a lot of discipline and a lot of sacrificing. Yes.
And what did you have to sacrifice, for example?
For example, I like traveling a lot, but I couldn't do it as much as I want to do it. Even though I'm doing it, I have to have those restrictions. And even when people call to say, let's go out, I'm not going out because of the people saying, let's go out. It has to be according to my own plans. So I live a bit of a different life, but it's about sacrificing. Yeah.
Would somebody say your life is boring? When
yeah, no, you are right. It's actually like that. I've heard some people saying it's boring,
that. But what do they mean?
When I look at it, I feel like this is like, exciting.
You don't know the fun that I'm having. So typically, what do they criticize you on? That Ahman, please, you boring. You're not doing this. What is that?
Yeah, no, it's just because now I'm so big in saving. So you'll find that I have the savings, and then a friend wants you to do something, but you are saying this money is not for that. Things like that. So I think my story is more about saving than even property. Because my strength is more in saving, and that's what I've learned over so many years. And
I like how you put it back, or your saving is about reflecting on your lifestyle, right? Because your earlier point, you're always thinking, oh my God, saving.
Yes.
I know what my husband did early this year. He took like this 5-liter bottle of water. And I don't know where he got those cans. Yeah, but whatever, cans this small. And whatever the coins that he had, he dropped them in that. Okay. And the notes goes in the bottle.
Yes.
And for him, it's just this big game that he's chasing. He wants to see how far he would have saved.
Yes.
And in one can, I think this size, the 330 ml, is about he got about 1,000 something already in debt. Yeah, because and I'm like, okay, I do. So for him, it's about this money that usually would be lying around, and what does he do with it? Because he doesn't see. So it's a change from something. So you buy bread and then you're left with 15 rand or something, and then he saves that. Yeah, because it's money that will just fly. So he said he wants to see what he does with it, and it's really around checking your circumstances. Why do you think creating legacy in your life is important?
Yeah, no, I feel like it's very important to look at the legacy, because you don't want your kids to start the same place where you started. You want them to be on an advantage. So it's important to invest in different things so that when they come in, they are not starting from where you started. Yeah. So that's how I look at it. To say... at the moment, I don't have kids,
okay.
But when I look at it, it's more like to say I wouldn't like my kids to be going through the same life that I went through. I feel like I should put them in an advantage where they can be able to grow even the things that I'm already doing at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. And so starting from where you started, what do you think is the disadvantage of that?
Yeah, no, I think it's about funding, because most of us, we've got like plans in our mind to say, I want to do 1, 2, 3. But if you don't have funding, most of those plans, they end up as plans. So I feel like their plans, they should have funding for them through me. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Yeah. And the other important thing about our lives, especially for you young people, some of us have we're facing different things now. It's a perception around you, right?
Yes.
Do you get people who come to you just because of what they think they can get out of you?
Yes, yeah, you do get those people.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially the a different gender. That's
Which gender is that? Let's talk about that one.
Yeah, no, especially from the ladies. Yeah, because most of my things, they are out there, like in the public. So you get a lot of inboxes. And
so what do they come and say? Like what the one inbox that that will read up.
No, there's a lot of inboxes.
Let's talk about one in that. Does it say, like, do they come outright and say what?
No. It's just a lot of compliments. I wish we can meet. Such kind of things.
Maybe they're just being nice, brother, and being like, let's just meet, and nothing out of it. What's your problem?
Yeah.
But are you finding it difficult to find someone now? That just things are out there and people hear that, this guy saves 30,000 a month, 30,000 a month.
No, not at all, because I'm already with somebody, but they are from my hometown, so it's somebody we grew up in the same area. So,
yeah.
So yeah.
So it's but is it a difficult balance? I mean, when you come into any relationship, I've got my own goals. I come from a different story. So is it a difficult balance to then have the same discipline around money and because I don't have.
It's very important to have that balance, because some of the people that I will be just advising, you'll find it's couples coming to call, or they're calling you through a video call, two of them. And then the guy is trying to save, for example, I'm just using the guy as an example.
Oh, we can use a ladies, fine.
The guy is trying to save, and then you find the other partner, it's not about saving. So that will make you guys not to be able to save. Because
so you give couples advice on money?
Yes, I do get those kind of people who are calling as a couple to say, can you tell usually it's a guy saying, can you tell my girlfriend, or this is not right, something like that.
And do you tell her?
No.
Okay.
I'm just saying, there is a lot of people in relationship who are dealing with challenges of one partner not being able to save and the other one has learned to save. So it's important to have somebody that you are sharing the same kind of ideas and you've got same goals about money and so on.
What is your absolute no rules around money?
Absolute no. I would say somebody who's too much about sales. You understand? When you see it's written sale, you want to go after everything.
But what's wrong with sale? Because we want reduced prices. What's wrong with that?
According to me, if something was not in your plans, you are not planning to buy something.
Hi, boy, even shoes.
Yeah, if it was not
one paying Anna.
It's not sale if it was not in your plan. But if it was in your plan and then you see it in a lower price, then you buy it, you have saved money. But if it was not in your plan, I believe it's not sale because you spend something which you were not going to spend. Yeah.
So is that your absolute no rule? Will that make or break the relationship?
Not to break it. It's something that we can work.
But what's your absolute rule of no return with money, be it in a relationship or with your friends? Like the absolute no.
I don't have that.
Is it? You don't have that? Yeah. So if your friend is just borrowing money and not bringing it, is that not a no?
It's a no, but it's not something we can fight over. It's something that I can be able to talk to him to say.
Okay. So you're not money first kind of guy. No, so money is important, but not sort of money first.
Yes.
Do you have fun though? Because someone will say, but do you have fun?
Yeah, no, when I started, I can say there was no fun, but I've reached to the place where there is now excess funds, which I can be able to do the things that I want to do. Yeah.
And sorry, go for it.
Yeah, but before my budget was very strict, but when you are investing and you're investing, it's becoming easier.
Yeah. And how long has it taken you to be at that stage?
It took very few years in the investment because before I was not in property investment. I was just saving money But now to invest, it's about 2 years.
Yeah. I think that for me, the highlight of your story is the sustainability that you're demonstrating because, like I said, most of us just want to blow up. And the challenge that I see in my observation in the coaching sessions that I do, everybody wants to be prettier than the other guy. Every guy wants to have more muscles than the other guy. Everybody wants the better car. Yet the same car that we drive, we're frustrated in because you drive the most expensive car, but you're worried about what the next person is doing, whether they're cutting you in or something like that. But I'm like, but you're driving the best car. Let them cut you in and then spend more time in the car. You know, you buy the best house. You put this beautiful furniture, but you go to your house, you're not enjoying it because we're not building in, right? We're just blowing up. We're going to the relationship. Anyway, everything is almost like instant noodles or instant whatever. So the sustainability that I see, or the highlight that I see in your life is the sustainability that you are able to demonstrate and put in your life and say, I've started here, now it's time to have fun. Because me personally, Pesi, if I ever come to you for advice, listen, there must be fun in my life. You can't take away all the fun. Otherwise, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow.
But I believe with investment, it's just a short-term sacrifice for long-term pleasure.
So it's what? Short-term sacrifice for long-term pleasure. Wow.
Yes. So it's that's just amazing. To say, when I started working, maybe you are 24 years, you are still young. Those few years just to sacrifice. By the time you reach 30, you have already invested and then you are living your life.
And don't go into credit cards like we did. I mean, my generation, gosh, we were the generation of credit card and what is this thing? Overdrafts. That's when they were in. I mean, the checks were being phased out. So it was that kind of a lifestyle. So And some of us learned the hard way because we we didn't know that they were trapping us. You had credit card from every bank.
Yeah. That's extreme. Yeah.
That's extreme. But you thought we didn't know that it's the money that we don't have. And later on, when we realized that, gosh, we learned the hard way and we had to, really keep that. So, to your point, as early, you don't have responsibilities. Just work yourself out and move away from being the glorified person in the table who looks like you've got money, but you don't have money.
Yes.
Because there's nothing wrong with money, right? Yeah. The same as money is for me, it's like water. It can quench your thirst and it can drown you.
Yes.
So it can change you and it can feed your lifestyle.
Yes.
So my last question to you, Percy, picture this scenario, right? You are 80 years old. You're sitting on your chair. I don't know if you've got back pains or not, how fresh you are or not, but you are sitting on your chair and you are reflecting on your life to your great-great-grandchildren or great-children. I'm saying it because you said you want to have children. That's why. How do you, what do you reflect as your life and what have you achieved and what do you reflect? What are the key learnings to your grandchildren at that time?
Yeah, no, I think at that time, the investments would have already really paid off in a way that even if it will be that thing. I was talking to somebody recently who said my father passed away so many years ago, but I'm still enjoying the investment that he has done. Like she was indicating that he had a number of houses which have got tenants. So she's still living based on the sacrifices that her father did. So I would like to be in that place of where I've sacrificed a lot and then the people who are coming through me, they can enjoy the benefits from all the sacrifices that I've done.
And what would you teach them? What would you teach them as the key lesson that as your grandfather, this is what I'm leaving you and this is what you need to do to teach so that your children can sit here as well? What would be your key teachings or key lessons to them?
If it's about finances, I will teach them saving because I feel like saving is the foundation for everything. Because if you want to invest, the first thing that you are going to look at is money. But if you've got savings, you can be able to venture into any form of investment. So I feel like that will be one of them. Am I only giving them advices based on...
No, not on your life. Yeah,
on the life.
On your life, yeah.
I think just to the importance of family, to have people around that you love each other and just to have a loved one. I feel like those are the highlights because you don't want just to have money and then you don't have
people that you share your life
with. So but in terms of finances, I will say savings and then I will say they must invest as early as possible because when you invest when you're still young, by the time you reach 30 and 40, you're already sorted. And then even if you are wasting money, it's wasting of investment. It's not wasting the income the salary.
And would you, how do you look after, just as a matter of interest and as we're bidding each other farewell, how do you look after your mind? So that, you come back and still feed. I mean, you're getting calls about people saying, tell her, that can be intense. And also the business that you're growing, your career as well that you're growing. I would like to believe your career is also not stagnant. How do you feed your mind and how do you feed your soul?
Yeah, I think because I grew up in a church environment and I'm still in the church environment. So that's where I find, my peace, Yes.
Okay, all right. Percy, we wish you well. Thank you so much for joining us on the Imperative Mac podcast. We do see you as a teacher and continue teaching and sharing your tools so that some of us can learn, especially those who are coming after us, so that they're not the credit card generation and they're spending the money that they spend. Like I said, we've learned the hard way, but it is what it is. We are here now. So all the best to you and thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Thanks, Percy.
Okay.
You've been listening to another production from Solid Gold Podcasts.